You look
Okay,
adorable.
go.
You look adorable. I love that hat.
Thank you. Thanks. My dad got this for me somewhere. And it's cool. It's got like little hand painted like alpacas on it and stuff.
Oh, cute. That's so cute. Well, listen, it's so great to be able to talk to you today. Watched the movie over the weekend and had a blast. It is so much fun. And this is really a family affair. I mean, how cool has it been for you to be able to work with your dad in this capacity?
Oh my gosh, so awesome. Really, really awesome, it was fun too because I feel like the project kind of like authentically reflects both of us because when we wrote it together and so the Hollywood part of it is me having grown up on different sets and
Yeah.
like acting since I was 7 and then my dad with his gemology stuff in Latin America. And so yeah, so it was just like fun to be able to work with him and sort of mesh both of our two worlds together to come up with a story. And then just, it'll be something that we have,
Oh,
It's on,
yeah,
work with your dad, it'll be something that exists. It
absolutely.
lives.
Did you initiate the idea? Like, did you come to him or was it he that came to you? And like, how did it all evolve?
Well, so it was an interesting thing. So I like wanted to move from acting also into directing. So I had been directing several short films and music videos. And from there, I knew I wanted to make a full feature because especially for short films, like short films are hard to get in front of audiences. The
Yes.
main people who see them are people who go to film festivals or film buffs, film connoisseurs, but just general audience in people's homes.
Right.
Especially in the US, it's harder to get it in front of people. And so I thought it would be wonderful to do something that was a full feature where you could really get it out to a ton of people and have people see it. And so I was brainstorming on that. And
Hey,
I
Dad.
think he got excited. Yeah, I think he got excited because I've been thinking about this and I was like, well, what am I going to do? This and that. And he loves challenges and he's just like a true adventure at heart. And so he was like, wait, what? And there's so much things that come with the filmmaking that he's like so naturally talented at with too. That come with that sort of gemology haggling around the world,
Yeah,
for producing. So
right.
like locations, the locations have to be negotiated. Yeah, you got to haggle, for great prices for equipment. Like,
For sure. Oh, listen, there's so much to it. I mean, you wear a lot of hats on this project. I mean, writer, director, producer, star. Um, wow, was it ever overwhelming for you?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was funny because like halfway through the movie, I was like, wait, whose idea was it to do an independent movie of this scape? Like, I should have put just a couple people in a room. Like, oh my gosh, we're going where and where?
Yeah,
And all the actors are working actors too. They're, they've got Tom Arnold in it,
yeah,
and Devin Rattray, Paige Howard, all these actors who are working actors, and they have busy schedules. So we also had to split up our shoot schedule in order to be able to work with everyone to have it be easy for them. So I mean, all of that took a little bit more finessing and organizing too, rather than like on a traditional shoot where you just pay everybody and you're like, everybody's here for 30 days. Like this was like, oh wait, what schedule? Oh no, oh no. And it's like one of those things too, like herding cats where you're like, all right, we got one. We're like, no.
but
We
clearly,
lost the other.
but clearly, Mika, they wanted to work with you because you look at people like Tom Arnold and Paige Howard, and they don't have huge roles. The memorable little parts, that the things that they do in the film. But it's a testament to you that obviously that they wanted to help you and work with you. Were you like, I know when you listen, you worked with Tom Arnold before. He played your dad many years ago. But these are people who obviously like, sure, I'll do anything for you, and that's lovely, especially in your business.
Yeah, everybody, I'm super fortunate on that. Everybody's friends. They're all friends. They're all friends of mine. So, which is so fun because I feel like the fact that there's so many interesting, cool artists that I respect so much, you know, that even have like just these little cameos and stuff. I feel like it gives the project a kind of very like authentic flavor to it that it will always have, you know, with these like weird wacky characters. Um and that hopefully like people will want to revisit, you know,
Yeah.
because I've had that before too, like with you know, like for instance, even like the movie I did, like Sleepover. So Sleepover has, you
Yeah.
know, all these different like wonderful, quirky actors who have gone on to do such interesting things. Like, you know, Brie Larson won an Oscar.
Oh
Steve
yeah, just Brie
Carell,
Larson. Yeah, you know, those Marvel movies, whatever. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and like Steve Carell, like that was like one of
Yes.
his earlier movies before he went on to do like 40-Year-Old Virgin, and
Yeah. Yeah,
Evan Peters, who's gone on and had so much success, and Alexa Vega, and like just
for
so like
sure.
all these, you know, and so I think it's kind of fun because when you have talented people, like they're always gonna do more and interesting stuff. So yeah, I think like if you can get something where you get a lot of them and they throw in their artistry, like in this we have even Billy Bob Thornton does a cameo with his band, the Boxmasters, and they gave
Yeah,
us a couple of songs for
yes.
the movie. So it's just weird. It's weird. We have all these like weird, you know, weird little instances. And did you see Brian Krause and his cameo?
Yeah,
Brian from, I mean, he's done so much, but from Charmed, he was Leo the White Knight. He's in
yes,
there for a
yes.
moment.
It's great.
Um,
No, it's a lot of fun to watch it. And, you know, and you're right, it's just a crazy movie. And it's just, you know, there's the kind of movies that are like your favorite types of films. Like what kind of inspired you to write this, you know, where the idea like movie, right, reminded me a little bit like Romancing the Stone kind of thing. Not that there was a romance with the dad, let's get that out there. Not happening. It was father daughter here, but it had that vibe, you know, like the chasing of the jade and everything like that.
yeah, the adventure. I wanted it to be fun. I knew because I was involved in the beginning and I'd be taking it all the way through with distribution, which now it's on Amazon. I knew that I wanted it to be fun, and also I wanted other people to have fun when they got involved with it. So
Right.
that was sort of like one of the bigger things for going for this like comedy adventure thing. And then the Romancing the Stone, which I love that movie. That's one of my all-time favorite films. And
Yeah.
my dad loves that movie too. So that was we were like, okay, and it fits both of our worlds
Yeah.
because we had, you know, the Enchanted Jade, which he knows about all of that stuff. And then the layer that went on top of that is I really wanted a big ensemble cast because I have so many you know, friends that are like these great actors that I respect so much. And I went through and to bring them on board, ask them like what would be really fun for you to play that like you don't normally get to play, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
what's against typecast, like, or like what would just be fun. And so you know, so you know, with it being comedic, it kind of like lended to being able to bring people together and make it like fun and quirky. I feel like it would have been a lot harder for me if I was like, you want to cry? Come on out and cry.
Yeah.
Hey, and that part that you're real famous for that you always play when you play that psycho killer, yeah, just do that again, and you know.
Yeah,
So I kind
absolutely.
of, you know, let people do opposites and like try to make it as fun as possible.
Yeah, and the zombie wedding I liked. That was fun.
Yeah.
And I heard you had extras from some of the people that were in that scene were people who worked at the or were in the location. And you just, hey, come on in, be in my movie.
That was funny. Okay, so that was so funny. So we were filming in West Texas. We were filming in Kerrville, and Texas, like everybody's like so friendly, you know, with that type of stuff. And they we kept losing our locations though, and so it became this like thing, like, you know, which happens very often on independent film. And so we were having dinner at this Mexican restaurant, and my dad started talking to the owner of the restaurant, and he was like, well, you could film a wedding out there tomorrow.
Sure.
And I'm sitting there like,
Okay.
tomorrow? I'm like, where are we gonna get all of these like wedding attendants that are zombies? Like, I was like, I'm gonna kill somebody. Like, we can't film this tomorrow. And the guy who owned the restaurant was so nice. He was like, yeah, you guys can go ahead. You can use my employees. They're pretty much zombies anyway. And yeah, it was funny. So I then was trying to figure out, I was like, all right, what are we going to do? And I was like, I'll call up a local theater. There's got to be some great local theaters around here.
Yeah.
And so I started calling around, and it was so funny because I got this number, And when I called the number, this woman answered, and she was like warm and like listening to what I was saying, but like she wasn't, it didn't quite, like something sounded like she didn't quite work for a theater. And so anyway, she was like, yeah, zombie wedding. Okay, I could do that. She's like, now can my husband come too? And I was like, okay. And I was like, and what about the theater people? And she's like, oh, this is the local Dairy Queen. I was like, oh, I was like, because I literally, they didn't say that when they answered. And I was like, oh, okay. I
Right.
thought this was a theater thing, but come on out. We'll page you up and we'll put you in the movie. So
Amazing.
she came out. My dad grabbed some, there was a whole family where the father and the husband, he worked at T-Mobile. My dad had gotten something done with his plan recently. So they came out and they were extras also, and we painted them up with the zombie paint and stuff. So it was fun. There's a lot of like independent, you hit the wall and like you just have to keep problem solving because you got to get it done, and people are
Yeah.
relying on you, so got to make it happen.
Good for you. That's amazing. I'm wondering, Mika, when you look back at your career and some of the directors that you had worked with over the years, is there anybody or anyone that kind of stands out for you that was maybe an influence in the way that you directed this film and your other things that you've done?
I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe I was able to, pull a little bit from here or there from different people, because I always on set, and I encourage anyone who is working as an actor that thinks that they might want to move into behind the camera, like to ask questions and just watch, observe other people. So I've always done that. One of the people that I love to send stuff to is there's a few of them, but John Carpenter is really fun because I just his work is so interesting across the board, and especially like for me, Starman, like I just like, oh my gosh, like these kind of far out sci-fi things, but they're grounded in so much heart, the relationships in that story, and so yeah, he's whenever I get like reviews on stuff or like whatever, I always ship it over to John. I'm like, John, look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, I would like to think that I've absorbed stuff from a lot of people over the years. I don't know. I try to ask a lot of questions.
Which is amazing because, like you said, you were 7 when you started in this business, which is young. So I want to know how you turned out so grounded,
I don't know.
because it doesn't always
I don't,
happen.
I don't know. I think yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's such a compliment. Thank you though. I appreciate that.
Well, you're
That's so
welcome. I mean,
nice.
obviously, you're close with your dad. I mean,
Yeah.
seems like such a good guy and very
Yeah.
supportive of you. So that is an important element in growing up and not having like a head this big.
Yeah.
I can imagine though, like when you're that young and you're starting in the business and you're moving up, and we've seen it from a lot of young kids who they don't make it, or and a great example of making it is somebody from Paige Howard, who, look at the family she comes from, the loveliest family in the world,
Yeah.
honestly. And Ron started when he was like, what, I don't know, 4, 3 was. So it's interesting when you come from a Hollywood family too. You could have a big head, but it's like it's interesting to me how some of you just keep your crap together. you know
I think I mean, one aspect I could say maybe is that I think that like um I've always like enjoyed, like the studying and the history and the research of like if you're going to film something and the characters and that side of it. And so I've always kind of stayed more in that direction than like liking the like the really far out like glamour party premiere type section. And so I think maybe that makes a difference. And then a lot of my friends like like everybody that I got into the mix on this stuff, a lot of them are the same too, where they're more about like the work and like enjoying like the artistry side of it than like the cool glamour side of it. And I think that maybe that makes a difference and stuff.
I would think so. So what's next? Like, what are you working on? Do you want to continue behind the camera? Because I mean, you're awesome in front too. So don't give that up.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so nice. I want to do it all. So next I have coming up, I've got a series of children's films that I've been putting together. It's an educational series of films. So
Nice.
I think that that will be really fun. It's interesting with the pandemic because things have all kind of like
Yes.
moved around a bit, but that's coming up. And then there's a documentary that has to do with like sort of like behind the scenes for music, for like country music. So putting that together. And it was
Wow.
actually really cool. We just had a music video that I shot over the pandemic for a artist who does, it's not quite country, it's more like Southern rock, Travis Tidwell.
Mhm.
It's called Catch Me If You Can, but we just had it nominated for music video of the year with the Josie Awards. So I
Amazing.
guess those are supposed to be, I'm not overly familiar with the music world, but those are supposed to be it's the largest independent music awards.
Good for you. Congratulations on that.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. And then there's another project that I really want to do, and that we had all set to go, but now we have to wait and see the timing on it. But it's a historical piece that takes place in the 1920s. That's about a young boy who comes from California and he starts traveling south and he leaves to find work.
Okay.
He's 12, and so he's jumping trains. And so he arrives in these different towns. In each town that he arrives, he meets a different set of characters and learns different lessons in life. And
Wow.
it's just like a really, really beautiful coming of age story. And the story is actually based off of one of my dad's friends who passed away now, but it was like his story. Like he passed away at like 95, and like this was like his story as a young boy. So I actually like got to hear him tell some of the stories before we had them written out. And yeah, so that's really, really neat. And I'm just so excited to do that one. I
I
think it's
would watch that for sure. You need a really good 12-year-old. You don't have to find some big newcomer or something, but that would be amazing. That sounds great.
need a good 12-year-old.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they're out there. They're out there. You got to look, but they're out there. But anyway, listen, congratulations on this. It's been a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you. I'm going to be talking to Paige in a few minutes, and
I love her. She's
yeah.
the cutest, sweetest little thing ever. She's
She
amazing.
really is. It just cracked me up that her character's name was Veronica Lake. I mean, was that your writing, or was that something like, did you collaborate on that, or just that?
No,
Was
I threw it in there because she's
yeah.
this little movie star. Yeah, I love Paige. Paige is one of my best friends. She's so cool, and she's done great work, and there's gonna be great things ahead for her too. So
Absolutely,
yeah, she's
absolutely. Well,
awesome.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Mika. Best of luck with everything. And, when the borders open, come visit me here in Toronto, okay?
I will. Thank you so much. Thanks.
All
It's
right.
a
Have a
pleasure.
great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.